Welcome back to Counterculture.
Yeah.
You are still the honorable, reverendable, doctorable, pastorable, friendable Mark Hansen. How are you?
I am well. It is well with my soul.
Because you are able.
I am able, yes.
You are a bunch of ables.
How are you?
I am fantastic. We've had a fantastic few minutes of productional.
Yeah, okay. Your story, stick to it, brother.
I'm going to.
Yes.
I got a couple questions. Are you
Tell
ready?
me. What are we doing?
Okay. Can you find Psalm 37 for me?
Yep.
So there are a lot of things that we do in Christianity that I'm not so sure God is all about. We love to take the first parts of things and put them aside and then want the second parts of things. Right? So there are a lot of conditional statements that God says, if my people, that's an if, that's a conditional statement. Robbie can back me up on that. Right? If my people who are called by my name, right, will humble themselves, right, then I will lift them up, right? That's the if-then thing. But we see a lot of signs in houses. We see a lot of stuff going on that has this whole, we'll take the back end of it. I will lift you up. I will take care of you. I will provide for you. I will give you money and whatever it is, right? But
You mean we take it out of context?
Yeah, I think we just scrap the context.
We scrap the context,
but,
yeah.
But we don't necessarily understand the whole context, the whole concept. When we get to Psalm 37, there's a whole bunch of things that God promises us, right? So read for me like the first two verses, for example.
Do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away.
Right, so we love the second verse. Right, like, hi, anybody who's bad, anybody who's evil, anybody who's got bad intentions against you, don't worry because they are going to, I love it, they will fade like the grass.
Soon, anyway.
Right, and wither. Right, so don't worry, those people who come against you. But the first verse is kind of important, right? The first verse says, fret not yourself. Some versions it's, do not fret, do not worry. Do not be anxious over this. So when somebody is coming up against me, the Bible tells me, don't fret, Andy. Do not worry about it. And if you do that, then here's what's going to happen, right? So here's the question. What happens when I take it out of context and I just take the second part? What happens when I decide that I'm going to worry about it, but still tell everybody in my worrying that God is going to take care of these people?
What happens in me, or just what happens
Both.
in general?
Yeah. Yep. How does that work out for you?
It does not work out very well. I think because we're just looking for someone to get smoted.
No.
Just take him out, Lord. But I'm gonna. There's almost a piece of what's coming to me is, it's like I still have. This is about handing it over to the Lord, because the next line then is trust in the Lord and do good.
Yep.
So if we hang on to it, we're indicating that we're not trusting God to take care of this. And so now that worry is just going to sit there and keep eating at us. And we're, as I put it, we're giving our power away to people that really don't care about us, So that's the challenging thing for me is if I keep worrying about it and I keep fretting over evil men and what they did, then I'm not giving it to the Lord. I'm not trusting Him, or I'm keeping my eyes on something else instead of on the Lord.
Right. So if I'm going to worry about it, why does God need to worry about it?
Yeah.
Right? Like that.
Yeah. No sense both of us being up, he says. So he's going to go take a nap.
Right. And again, it's not a suggestion. Hey, why don't you think about not worrying about people who are coming up against you? Instead, it's do not fret. Don't fretting is one iota of a anxiousness about the whole thing. I am worried that this is not that's super hard for me because I tend to not like to have enemies.
Yeah.
But I love what you said. The next part of that is important. So read verses 3 through 4 for me.
Well, but there's also this piece of this is do not fret because of evil men.
Ooh. Now you're going to get me stuck. See, I was ready to go on. I get this bad rap for never getting past a verse or two.
Yeah.
But
what am I doing? I'm keeping you stuck there.
Yeah.
So the question that arises, and I'm going to switch. I'm going to flip this back to you. Is it?
It's not in the rule book.
I'm the youngest. The rules don't apply to me.
That's true. That's so true.
We have to decide. We have to use a little judgment here about who are evil men, who are evil people. I've had this discussion with people before as well. We shouldn't say that. Well, that person's evil. Well, they're acting in an evil way. I get that. Doesn't necessarily mean they're evil, and yet we see throughout Scripture where people are called out for being evil people.
I like what it says here because it's specifically evil doers. So can a godly person do evil?
Oh, I've seen them do it. I've probably done evil, intentionally or unintentionally, and I've certainly seen Christian people do sometimes intentionally evil things, and then not bat an eye about it.
Nope, because they've justified why they're doing it.
Exactly.
Because my sin makes it okay for you to sin. Right?
Yeah.
But again, I love what you're saying there because the truth of the matter is who really gets to define whether there's evil or not.
And can I so it's like, is a person a sex addict or do they have a sexual addiction? Is a person a drug addict or do they have a drug addiction? There's a difference in those the way you say that.
And you would define that. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is you're labeling them as opposed to them. You're separating the person from the activity. So I think as you said, evil doers. This says evil men, evil people.
Yep.
I think it's are we pronouncing something on them that? In essence, kind of a curse, so to speak. Well, you're just evil. Or are they evil, or what they do was what they did evil? And therefore, it still sees them in the image of God, that they are created in the image of God, and that there is hope that they can hopefully stop doing evil and start doing and living righteously.
So I like what you're saying. I like the thought process, right? Because when Jesus looked at Peter,
yes,
in one moment he is saying, "Blessed are you, Peter, because you."
Get the very next
Satan, right? So is he declaring and labeling Peter Satan, or is he declaring and labeling that moment? Yes. Satan, and I do believe that there's a difference.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
If Christians can do evil, does that make them evil? Well, there's a difference.
So like in the movie Raising Helen, when the aunt goes and rescues the niece from making a huge mistake with this kind of scudsbag kid, and she tells her, "Get in the car." She says, "You ruined my life." She goes, "Well, we'll fix it later." But she turns around and says to this kid, "By the way, you're not a bad person, but this is very bad behavior." Are there bad people? Are there evil people out there? Or are there just people who do evil things?
Well, I think there are evil people because in Genesis chapter
They're-
6,
Yeah.
God said every intent of their heart
Yes.
was evil. And when God says every, he tends to mean every.
Yes, yeah.
When
Every
I
means
say
every,
every,
means
I
yeah.
tend to want to
Yeah.
lump you into a category.
Yeah, and so that then it would go, can that person stop being an evil person and being a righteous person? I would hope so.
Well, and I think that's where I like the thought process, even though there are people going to be arguing all kinds of sides, listening to that, which is good. That's what this is supposed to do, is get you thinking. But I think we want to associate, and I like what you said. We want to say all the time and label something. You are a drug addict. You are a sex addict. You are a glutton. You are a whatever these things are. And I think when we do that, it is for the purpose, a selfish purpose. God is able to look at us and say, no, you in some cases, you are struggling with sin. That doesn't necessarily make you, right, an evil person. You are struggling with evil doing.
Yes.
And again, is there a line there? There's a line that God knows that I don't know, and that is God knows the intent, every intent of our heart.
And are we pronouncing something on them, or I would rather. I was talking to someone one day, and I caught myself because I'd say, might be out at the store or something. One of the people in produce helps me with something. He said, "Good man," and I thought, should I be saying that because I don't know whether they're a good man or a good person or not. And a friend of mine I was talking about it, he goes, but you're calling out something in them that maybe you see that they don't see.
So, yeah, and that was a good moment.
And so do we do the same thing when we say, well, they're evil? Or are they acting evil? It's just something to chew on. And it makes me think when I say that if I do say to someone, I really don't know they're a good person or not, but hopefully I'm calling it out of them. Are we calling evil out of people if we do the same thing? Well, you're an evil man. Thanks for helping me. Am I calling out something in that person that I don't want out, or am I calling out something that they maybe don't see and that God has put to them? Or what I'm saying?
Well, what's wrong?
I know what I'm wanting to say, and my mind's racing too much with this. But
what is wrong with having a Peter moment? What is wrong with the God of the universe in one moment saying, Good job, Peter," and in the next minute saying, "You're doing evil things.
You're doing evil things here." Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What's wrong with us looking at moments and being able to call out, "That's evil. That's
because it's not nice, and the Bible tells us to be nice. We were just talking about this, Andrew. I thought we had this straightened out.
We did.
It's in First Opinions. Be nice to each other and don't upset anybody.
I am just not a nice person.
I know.
That's just the problem.
Just some thoughts to chew on.
Right. So good. All right.
A cud to chew on.
I love it. I want to leave it right there. I want to pick up next week with the next verses.
Okay.
But a lot for you to chew on in this episode, which again, we're not always here to tell you this is the way it is. Be really careful with those people who they're always telling you this is exactly the way it is. The Bible warns about that.
Mm-hmm.
You want people around you that are going to just get you to think and maybe differently than you are thinking. Let me give you another little tidbit. Maybe instead of instantly trying to prove that somebody's wrong, maybe work the opposite and prove that maybe they're right. Maybe it could be that what they're saying has some value. That changes our thinking so that we're not just constantly trying to attack somebody. We're constantly trying to learn.
Be curious first, critical second. A friend of mine, Justin Janowski, said that, and I'm going to use it as a chasing the wind.
There you go. I say I gave you something.
You are such a good man. You're a good man.
You should definitely not call me good. But that's all right. We'll see you next time. Right here at Counterculture.
Grace and peace.